Hey peoples, welcome to another movie review of the movie Falling in Love. As always, I want to say thank you for listening. It really means a lot to me. So, Falling in Love is a movie on Netflix about a woman named Gabriella. She works at what seems to be a tech company, and she's not getting the recognition she deserves. But that tech company goes under, and during her depressive state of looking for another job, she enters a contest where you can win a whole building in New Zealand. She enters that contest, wins, she ends up in New Zealand and finds that her home that she won is a broken down mess. So she has to fix it up with the help of a very attractive young man who lives in the town. Then they come together after butting heads a little bit, and we get our love story. And that's the movie we're looking at right now. Walking in, I knew exactly what type of movie this was. This is your Hallmark/ABC Family wholesome type of movie. If you don't know what that is, it's just this feel-good type movie where characters are pretty much nice, or you got a couple villains here, all the other side characters always happy, they're always in a joyous mood, always nice to people, there are corny lines here and there are little jokes, there's physical comedy, there's animal comedy, our two love interests, they end up in the same spot coincidentally all the time, they accidentally trip and fall into one another to create that physical touch. Our main character always looks good, even when she wakes up in the morning, she has on makeup and looks perfect, and that's the type of movie you get into. Everything has this kind of film of prettiness and togetherness and wholesomeness, and yep, it's like a filter on a movie. That's what this movie is. So I knew that going in, and you rate those types of movies on a different level. It feels like a TV type movie. And for the most part, this is just an okay movie. It's not bad. I do have some gripes about it. I'll talk about that in a second, but it's not bad. The movie is endearing enough. You enjoy it for the most part, and you know how the outcome's gonna happen, but you just go with it. So with that being said, I do have a couple issues. One, this is not really, well, I guess it is an issue, but Gabriella, our main character, has a boyfriend. He's not a jerk, but he just won't commit. So as they have scenes together, I was looking at the guy, I was like, is this guy gay? Are they gonna reveal later that her boyfriend is gay and that's gonna be a twist later in the movie? It's not, but I googled the actor and the actor's gay. Now, I'm not saying I have a problem with that, it's just weird that I noticed it in the movie. And it's weird to point out because I've never had to point that out in the movie, but you want her boyfriend to seem like he's into her. So the fact is that when you set up the boyfriend who seems like he doesn't want to commit, and then I noticed that, hey, maybe he's gay and he doesn't want to commit because he's really not into her, and we're going to find it out later. The fact that I thought of that, but that wasn't the case, seems like it is a fault for the movie. And I guess that's on the fault of the actor for not portraying the character he was meant to play. But it's a weird complaint, but I guess you have to point that out because it is about acting, and that's you're here to play a role. So yeah, moving on. My next issue is that I didn't really like Gabriella for a while in this movie. I enjoy Christina Milian. I think she is a treasure. I adore that woman. She is so talented and cute, and you just want to love her. She seems like that wholesome person that you always want to be around, and she's so nice. But they made her kind of annoying because you see her in a world where she's starting off with jerks around her, and you're like, okay, I'm automatically on board, I'm rooting for this lady. Then when she goes to New Zealand, she seems to be turning into a jerk because a guy's trying to help her. She pulls the, no, I don't need help, I can do it all myself. If I was in a strange place and I didn't know where I was going, I wouldn't pull the, hey, I'm a strong independent man card. I can do whatever I put my mind to. You're in a strange area. It makes no sense to put on this face and this front to pretend like you know what you're doing. And then as she's trying to fix up the end that she won in the contest, she's at the hardware store and she's getting tools, and the love interest, Jake, tells her, oh, you don't want to use that because that wouldn't work. You probably want to use this. And she says something like, stop mansplaining to me. It's not mansplaining, whether it was a guy or a girl, because you go to the flower shop and someone else helps you. So, I mean, why is it different when it's this guy? But he knows who he's talking about. You have no idea what you're doing. They haven't showed the audience that you watch YouTube videos and you have looked at a bunch of DIY videos. So I don't get why you have this attitude and negativity about you about, don't bother me, get out of my face, I can do it all by myself. but you have to hire help. You need help. You don't know what you're doing. And it made the character seem nastier than she had to be. I understand the whole I'm an independent woman thing. I'm cool with that. The problem is they played it too hard and it just didn't fit the movie. It didn't fit that character. Also, I didn't like that the movie paints her as a competent woman, which is great, but that she seems so incompetent not to do her research before going to New Zealand. It's like they had two mixed up identities for this character. She's a fish out of water, which would be someone from the city going to a rural area, but also they established from the beginning that she's an intelligent woman and a smart person that does a lot of planning and things like that. So you think she would do more research before jumping on a plane and going to New Zealand. For instance, when she gets there, she doesn't realize that the company Lyft is not in that location. So that was a little odd to me and seemed a little out of character for the character they set up. I haven't spoken much about the love interest Jake, and it's because there's not much to talk about. He's pretty wooden for most of the movie, and you don't feel any chemistry. He's just a handsome guy with a deep voice, but I never fell in love with him. I never was like, wow, he's super charming or he's humorous or anything like that. He's just there and he knows how to fix stuff. That's it. He smiles every once in a while, but he's pretty dry and bland. So if I don't fall in love with the character, why in the world is she? And that's how I felt about him. In regards to the actual filmmaking of the movie, the worst absolute thing about this movie was that the focus kept changing. A character would be in focus and things behind them would blur. They would turn around, then the things behind them would be in focus. Then they turn back around and things would be blurry. There were blurry sections of people's heads, like one character's head, the top of his hair is blurry. I didn't understand what was going on with this movie. The focus was so off. I wear glasses. I was getting a headache from watching this movie because for some reason there were so many blurry areas. Two characters would be walking and the trees right above them would be blurry. What is this? Is this like a fever dream? I didn't understand what was going on, what stylistic choice this was. It was just bad. It was just all around bad. So one thing I don't like about movies is when they don't follow their own rules. If you set up something, keep that the same way throughout the movie. This movie doesn't do that a couple times. For instance, I don't know how time works in this movie, okay? So the first night, as we see her, she gets to the house, it's broken down, she stays in the house, creepy stuff happens, as in like it's raining, the windows are broken, and stuff like that, and she's just looking around. When she wakes up, her hair's all a mess, and you're like, oh, okay, so night does exist in this world. So the next day comes and she goes out into the town and she's getting equipment to fix the house. The next scene, she's in a completely different outfit and she is in like a coffee shop. Then the next scene, she's in a completely different outfit and she's on the phone with someone. Are these in the same day? Like, did she go back home and change? How long has it been? It does this multiple times throughout the movie. And for my last thing, I have to discuss the setup of the movie, which is the inn itself. So the inn belonged to a guy who I believe in the movie it says his grandmother owned, and so he was trying to get rid of it, so he puts it up for a contest and gives it away for free. I thought that was kind of odd. You could have sold it and got some money, but then we found out another character in the town also runs an inn, but the son promised to sell her the inn. But then she says that he found a quick way to clean house or something like that, and then he decided to give it away for free. It doesn't make sense. So that part was confusing. That's an honest question. If anybody could tell me what sense that makes. If he promised it to this lady and then he thought, oh, I could clean house, or maybe she said something else and now I'm just going to give it away for free. How does that benefit him? You could have sold it and gotten money. That didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, that's all my thoughts on the movie. Like I said, it's an all-around wholesome, fine movie. It's not great, it's not bad. It's the type of movie you can watch with your parents or your grandma, and everything is just a little wholesome and loving, and you can drink some nice cocoa as you watch it. But yeah, that's it. As always, thank you for listening. If you could do me a favor, share this show, thumbs up, follow it, subscribe. I'm on YouTube, I'm on iTunes, I'm on Podbean. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow.